It's the 43rd day of lockdown. And can you hear the clamouring? Just while I take my hood off, just listening, can you hear the clamouring? It's very quiet at the moment. It's almost noiseless. You practically have to put your hand to your ear to hear it. Perhaps you can't hear it where you're listening and watching this video. But let me just give you an idea where the clamouring is coming from. The clamouring is coming from corporations. The clamouring is coming from businesses. The clamouring is coming from people wanting to get out to garden centres and B&Q, who have already opened with social distancing measures. Perhaps you have heard the clamouring. Perhaps you may even be socially distancing in the clamouring and shopping for your garden stuff at B&Q. If you have a very long plank, though, use it to keep others at least 6 feet apart from you. So the clamouring has started. But you might think it's the customers who've started this clamouring. The ones in Great Yarmouth that say Cherry Lane Garden Centre, as well as B&Q very near to where I live. You might think the customers are clamouring to get to their garden centres. Like the Sun probably has told you that the customers are clamouring to get back into their pubs. They're clamouring so much that pubs might have to impose a special limit of 3 pints or something, and then you're out. No, the clamouring's not just coming from the customer base. The clamouring's not just coming from the rich elites, isolated in their stately homes, their castles, their grace and favour apartments. Perhaps even Boris and Carrie, isolated inside with, okay, good luck to them, their new baby boy, good luck to them, yeah. Perhaps the clamouring's not perhaps even coming so much from them, but I'll tell you who Johnson is hearing the most clamouring to lift the lockdown from. Businesses. Businesses generally owned and run by billionaires who are all nicely tucked up and isolated and can buy as many COVID tests. I believe they're £149 at the moment. Well, you know, you've got a few billion. How many tests do you need? Yeah, well, they'll be sending off for their tests in the post, and even if they get it anyway, doesn't Bupa cover them? And won't their granddad Johnson, ex-fighter pilot and inveterate racist like his son, won't he get a ventilator anyway? I mean, he can wear it like he did his pilot's mask that he said that a woman wearing a hijab couldn't wear if she was to fly a fighter jet. But you know, he could put his ventilator mask on and go. Imagine he was breathing high pressure oxygen at 35,000 feet in a phantom jet. Yeah, the clamouring is coming from people like him who own massive companies and want everybody back to work making money and profit for them that can then turn into political influence, but more like political power. Yeah, when you own the wealth, when you have the wealth of a small country, yeah, you have immense power. Yeah, the little people that are supposed to govern the country and whatever, they sit underneath you. They sit. Just, they're down there somewhere, yeah? But you, with all of your money, influence and power, as I've said to you hundreds of times, and I keep saying it, well, you'll decide when lockdown ends. You'll decide when we go from Cherry Lane Garden Centre perhaps opening, B&Q opening. You'll decide when we go from those little shops and whatever opening. You'll decide. The billionaire ruling class will decide when Mr. Johnson, now Daddy Johnson again, is going to open up the UK. And I can promise you this, yeah? In the end, it's just going to be all about getting herd immunity by the back door. That's what it's going to be about, definitely. I've known that all along, right? Look at Germany. They've already released on their lockdown a bit, and they're already finding the case transmission rate or whatever, or the infection transmission rate going above 1. Now, Germany have quite sensibly decided to tighten it all down again. Now, I know at some point we're gonna have to send, I don't know, primary school kids and whatever back to school, right? But let's say whatever we do, we watch that rate go above 1. What do you think will happen in the UK? Those massively powerful, rich, ruling people will be there going, don't release the lockdown. It's bad for business. I mean, our profits are going through the floor when people are buying things that they don't actually have to survive. Yeah? I mean, when they're deluging our showrooms buying the latest electronic gizmos, when they're deluging the toy shops for their kids, when they're deluging the fashion stores like John Lewis and Next because they gotta have this year's most important fashion. They're looking round all the mobile phone shops because they want to physically handle and touch and buy the latest mobile phone. They're not essential, but they want them. Yeah? So what do you think we'll do then when we start to take out lockdown? Again, these people will plead. When we think to go back into lockdown, these people will plead with the government. Don't do it. Don't lock down. Yeah, I know more old people and whatever are going to die. I know that we don't get the correct death figure every time that bastard speaks, yeah? I know we don't, but don't do lockdown again. It's hurting the economy. It's hurting our bloody profits. More to the point, these people have got more money than you could spend in 10, 20, 30 lifetimes. Yeah? And I'll tell you another thing too, right? Do you think that we'll get them to pay towards all of this? Have we even asked them for an additional wealth tax to pay for this? No, we haven't. Will we bail out Richard Branson and Virgin? Yes, we will. We always do. It's what we're like as a society. And as for Panorama, once again, we have still not got PPE through. And those people were so bloody sneaky and dishonest that they downgraded this COVID-19 from, I don't know, a highly infectious contagious disease or whatever it was. They downgraded it to the next grade below because they said actually the infection rate wasn't that bad, so we'll downgrade it. And as soon as they did that, then it was okay to send people in with these patients and give them the sort of PPE that you might get, like somebody said, in the ambulance service when you were making a sandwich at a sandwich bar. Yeah? Because it had all been downgraded. Yeah? All been downgraded. Yeah? People have died in the NHS because of that downgrading. Many will die still. And still we have them lying about numbers by Hancock, counting individual items in a packet of gloves. Yeah, rather than a pair of gloves, he's counting each item. Hancock, the constant government apologist who promises so much and nothing happens. Believe me, we're probably now at the most dangerous stage for the disease. But you watch. Because Johnson and the Tory party and the government they're in the pockets of billionaires. They're in the pockets of the richest and most powerful people on earth. They're in their pockets. You watch. It won't be the science that tells us we can unlock. It'll be them. And it's them who will be causing this second wave to hit, and the NHS won't be able to cope. But that's the reality of living in greed-driven capitalist Britain, run and controlled by equally greedy, narcissistic and horrible people like the government who think that lives, frankly, don't matter. Profit first, human lives second, third, fourth, fifth, it doesn't matter. All that matters to them is profit. And that is why we will unlock too early. Don't let it happen. Hold these bastards to account, will you? Please back anyone who holds these bastards to account with their false accounting and dodgy figures and twisting everything to make themselves look good. Bye.